with the microphone. Dear Mr. Damjanovic, the government representatives, dear Fernando, our hosts of course here, dear representatives from international science organizations, distinguished guests, and of course dear Professor Schoffel. Let me start by congratulating you all for organizing this event. And let me also congratulate in particular Minister Damjanovic for her leadership in bringing together 8 countries in the Southeast region to develop a large-scale scientific is recognition of what science and innovation can bring to the development of this region. It makes it clear that you in this region believe and are committed to invest in the knowledge economy. Studies have shown that the economic growth which Europe had before the crisis, the financial crisis, was for 2/3 the results of science and innovation. And in certain EU countries, the recent rapid increase in labor productivity was for 40% the result of science and innovation. And this is why the European Union has put science and innovation so high on the political agenda. And that is why in March, in 2 months from now, when the European heads of state and government meet in the European Council, they will have on the agenda innovation. And this is also why countries like Germany, Austria, and many of the Scandinavian countries are currently investing more than 3% of their GDP in science and innovation. Because these countries, in particular, they know about the power of knowledge. And it is for this reason that we, at the European level, have Horizon 2020, the biggest science and innovation program in the world. With its 80 billion euro, this program aims at boosting excellent science, supporting industrial leadership, and addressing the grand societal challenges which we are all facing, and not just in Europe. The Western Balkan countries are fully associated to Horizon 2020, and I'm proud that I was the one from behalf of the European Commission who signed all these association agreements a couple of years ago. I have read your concept paper for the creation of a Southeast Europe International Institute for Sustainable Development. I'm aware of this large-scale scientific research facility you want to establish. And I know about the 2 options that you are currently exploring. And I've not come here to tell you what to do or what to choose. I've come here to listen to your plans and to hear how experts assess your plans. From working myself with large-scale facilities, large-scale infrastructures for many years, and having been involved in S3, I think most of you are familiar with S3, I have learned a couple of lessons which I would like to share with you. First of all, and it was already mentioned, research and innovation are powerful tools to boost excellent science, encourage innovation, and train the next generation of researchers. Secondly, for a large-scale research infrastructure to be established, there needs to be a strong and committed user community, not only in a few countries but in the region involved. Third, establishing a large-scale research infrastructure requires a long-term financial commitment at government and funding agency level, and not just for the construction, but notably for the operational costs to be covered. Fourth, experienced managers need to be involved in the project from day one to ensure that the project is delivered on time and within budget. And last but not least, when it comes down to site selection, let there only be winners and no losers. And that is quite a challenge as well. Through the EU Framework Programme for Horizon 2020, the European Commission has provided support to the design and feasibility study of many research infrastructures. Whether it's the European Spallation Source, or whether it's the ELT, the Large Telescope, we have been financing design studies, feasibility studies. And even for an impressive project like Sesame, which Professor Schopen knows quite well, we are the biggest shareholder. The European Union is the biggest shareholder with 15 million euro. So we will not shy away from financing impressive research infrastructures. Also, of course, in the Western Balkans, countries which are fully associated to Horizon 2020. And therefore, I've come here to listen, to talk, to learn, and to see what from the European Commission we can do to support this very ambitious endeavor. Thank you very much for your attention.